we're going to be focusing on shoulders and hips and maybe working towards some back bends if it's in your practice. We are going to begin seated, so if you want to find a nice comfortable seat, try and have your hips higher than your knees so that you can have a nice tall spine. So head, heart and hips are stacked one over the other. Take as much time as you need, hit pause if you need to get yourself set up and ready. When you are ready, we're going to take our hands to rest in the lap. Keep your eyes open for a moment, and we're going to take a deep inhalation in. So as you take a deep belly breath in, feel your lungs, your belly and your chest expand with your inhale like a big balloon. Take a pause at the top, and then you can exhale through the mouth, release. Do it again, inhaling, keeping your eyes open. Pause at the top. Exhale, empty. On your next inhale, allow your eyes to really slowly close. So breathing in deeply. Pause. Eyes are closed. Exhale, release. Again, inhale. Pause. Exhale. Through mouth or nose. I want you to slow down your breath. Make it as long, slow and juicy as possible. And pause at the top of that inhale. And then as you exhale, you feel this sense of release or letting go or relaxation. Focusing on the prana. Turn inward. Focusing on your breath and your inner self. And asking yourself if you can do this for the duration of your practice. Not worrying about what the postures look like, but focusing on how they feel and what they bring up for you. Maybe you feel like getting out of it or stopping your practice. And especially from home, it can be quite tempting to just stop in the middle of your practice. But today I want you to focus on everything and anything that you start to feel. Turning your awareness inward. Explore anything that comes up for you. Even if it's pain, even if it's discomfort, or that sense of wanting to leave or go. Challenge it. Can you observe it and see it through? Place your right hand on your tummy, your left hand on your chest. And when you breathe in, you feel your belly expand, and I want you to make a really big belly. So your belly expands and then your chest expands also. And then when you breathe out, you feel your tummy and your chest draw inward. Inhale deeply and really embrace a full belly. Let your belly become as big as possible and show lots of love for a big belly. And then breathe out. And then one more time, inhale. And exhale. I want you to draw your palms together at your heart center now into Namaskar or Namaste. And our intention for our practice today, or our Sanskrit mantra, is San, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And this means in English, existence, consciousness, bliss. Existence, consciousness, bliss. I'm going to give you a moment to just explore what those three words mean to you. Sat, Chit, Ananda. On your next inhale, lengthen your arms out into a big T shape. Allow your chest to expand, open up across the upper back, the upper thoracic. And then when you're ready, exhale, reach hands up and over the head, interlace your fingers, flip your palms to face the ceiling. Push your head through slightly as you push your arms back. And we'll start to trace little circles, any direction that comes to you. And in the beginning of our practice, we begin slow exploring the body, what's going on, what's happening. And then I want you to change direction. So we'll start to trace your circles in the opposite direction, keeping the lower body still, focusing on shoulders. Any little aches or pains that are happening there, just checking in. Find stillness. Lengthen your arms, so pull your shoulders up towards your ears. And then guide hands to the back of the head. So interlacing fingers, keep them interlaced, hands come to the back of the head. Push your head into your hands, press your elbows back, take a deep belly breath in. Settle in here to the breath, into the sensations. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your right elbow to the right side. So you're going to drop into a side body stretch. Right elbow drops towards the right. You can look up towards the ceiling, maybe if that's in your practice. And really try and focus on pushing the head into the hands and puffing the chest forward. You can take that right elbow as low as you like, making sure this left knee doesn't lift. Keep looking towards the ceiling. And then inhale, using those abdominals, draw to center, left elbow towards the floor. Nice and slow, look up towards the ceiling. Keep that chest puffing forward, breathe in and out. Don't let that right knee lift if possible. And then inhale, lift and draw it in. We're going to start to trace some circles here. So almost like disco cat or cat cow. I want you to bring your chin towards your chest and start to create circles with the upper thoracic. Maybe small little movements feel better for you. Remember, it's all about listening to the body and becoming in tune with what you need. Keep your lower body still, keep that movement through the upper torso. 2 more in this direction. And then change direction. You're keeping those elbows pushed back. You're drawing chin to chest, trying to bring movement into the spine. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Inhale, lift it up. Take your hands from behind your head. Remove any props that you were using. So if you were on a cushion or bolster or anything, you can start to gently move them out of the way. And then from here, we're going to come into child's pose. Bring your feet together, your knees wide, and sink your bum back towards your heels. Draw a nice deep belly breath in and allow your head or your forehead or your chin or your chest to melt to the floor. Let go of any tension in your shoulders. Breathe deeply in and out. Trying to connect your bum towards your heels. And if your knees are sore, take your knees wider apart. Try and let go of that tension through the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And a big exhale out. Press into your fingertips. Lift yourself forward into tabletop. So from tabletop, maybe take those knees underneath the hips. Push the floor away, chin comes to chest for cat pose. And then you start to drop your belly down and lift your gaze up for cow pose. So shoulders roll back and down. Chin to chest, round through the upper back. Pull the spine up. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts for cow. From here, you're going to turn your right toes off to the long edge of your mat, almost like we would for modified side plank. Press into your right hand and come into this sort of modified side plank. Your left foot can push flat into the floor, or maybe if you can, we'll take a figure of 4 shape. So left heel comes to right thigh, and you're sending this left knee away. Left arm reaches up, and maybe you can extend through the left fingers. Deep breaths, pivoting the chest towards the ceiling. Two. 1 more breath. Start to take left hand back to the floor. Unravel that left leg. Chin to chest, cat pose. Belly drops. Lift your gaze. Cow pose. Press into your fingertips. Try shifting your weight forward. And then chin to chest for cat. Turn your left toes off your mat. Float your left hand. Modified side plank. And right foot can plant flat in line with the knee. Or again, taking that figure of 4 shape. So right heel to left thigh. Send your right knee away. Extend through fingertips. Bicep and ear in line. Breathing in and out. 3. 2. 1 more. Good. Float right hand back to the floor. Unravel those knees. Press the floor away, chin to chest for cat. Belly drops, gaze lifts for cow. We'll tuck our toes. Sink the bum back towards the heels. And then start to lift the hips up for downward dog.
Pedaling through one heel at a time, or maybe if you feel nice and open, you want to keep it static. And really try and lengthen your sit bones up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to melt chest to thighs and lift those sit bones. Take one more breath here, inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right leg. So we're going to try tap right knee to right tricep. So draw right knee up towards right tricep. And then place your right foot to the outside of your right hand. From here we're in this runner's lunge position, so sink your hips low, look up. And then push your way back as much as you can, almost trying to plant your left heel. Your knees can be bent, that's fine. Drop forward, inhale, look up. Press back. You can straighten your legs as much as feels available. If it's too much to straighten them, just a little lift with the hips. 2 more. Inhale, drop. And press back. From here, sink hips low. Step left foot to the top, so you can pivot your right toes off the mat slightly. Step your left foot through, dropping down into Malasana or squat pose. Try and keep the back as straight and flat as possible, like there's a string coming out of the crown of your head, lifting your torso tall. Deep belly breaths here, in and out. 3. 2. 1 more breath. Take hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. So you can turn your left toes in, right foot steps back. And now we're in this runner's lunge on this side. So hips sink, inhale, exhale, press back. Inhale to sink, exhale back. Trying to find that movement that feels good. A nice opening, but more of an exploration than a destination. So you're not trying to get the deepest stretch you can get. You're just trying to explore and see what is available for your body at the minute. Take 1 more breath. Sink hips low, plant the hands and step back to plank pose. So from here you can stay in plank or you can drop to the knees. Pull the ribs and belly together, look forward, lower, exhaling. Inhale, lift the chest, drop your shoulders down. And then press back. Toes tuck, lift your hips, downward dog. In downward facing dog, we're trying to lengthen the tailbone. So even if your heels connect, try bending your knees and scooping or lifting that tailbone up as high as possible. Look at your knees or look at your belly. And take 3 breaths. 2. 1 more. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Draw left knee to left tricep. Squeeze it tight. Take a deep breath. And left foot to the outside of left hand. Inhale, sink hips low, rock forward, runner's lunge. And then pushing through the feet, opening the hamstrings. Inhale, sink it low, lift. Exhale, push. 3, inhale, sink it low. 2, lift. Inhale. So we're trying to find that unison of breath and body. Inhaling, drop. Exhaling, press back. Sink low again, and this time we'll turn left toes off, step right foot to to the top, dropping to that squat pose. Maybe your hips are higher, maybe your heels have lifted, that's okay. Breathe in and out. Whatever is available for your body is the best practice for you. 2 more. 1 more. Take fingers to the floor, lift the hips, just step your left foot back. So turn right toes in, left foot steps back. Inhale, runner's lunge. Hug through the feet, exhale. Do 3 more. Inhale, focus on your breath. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sink it low. Float through the fingers, step to plank. So you can drop to the knees like last time, or keeping knees lifted, exhale, lower. Your hands are in line with your chest, thumbs in line with the nipple line. Inhale, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Pull those hips up and breathe into the back of the body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Focus on that breath, that gaze to the knees. 1 more. On your next inhale, right leg lifts, so lift right knee, right toes. Tap right knee to right tricep. Try and get it as close to your armpit as possible. And then place right foot outside of right hand. Inhale, sink it low, look forward for that runner's lunge. Keep your left leg nice and straight. And then as you exhale, push into the feet. Maybe your back heel is lifted, that's okay. Maybe this front knee is bent, that's also okay. Take 1 more breath, try to let your head relax. And then inhale, sink it low again. This time drop left knee to the floor. Tummy nice and tight, you can untuck your left toe and then lift into a low lunge position. You're going to tuck your tailbone, so lengthen your tailbone, press your hips forward until you can feel your left hip flexor. So it's really important to get this tuck through the tailbone here. And I want you to feel it in your left hip flexor. The more you press your hips forward and engage through the glutes, the better. And keeping awareness to this left hip flexor, you can take your hands, interlace them onto your right thigh and pull your chin to your chest. If you can't feel anything or you need a deeper opening, make sure your left hip is squared to the top of your mat and you can draw it forward. If you lose this tuck on the tailbone, you will lose the stretch. So keep awareness on that tuck. Breathe deeply in and out. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Inhale. Good. From here, you're going to take your right hand to the inside of your right foot and pivot your left toes off your mat. So your left knee will be pointing to the long edge, left toes to the back. Use your right arm, so if it's too much with hand to the floor, you can take your right elbow to your right thigh, roll your left shoulder back, deep breath. So if it's okay, take hand to the floor. You're using your right arm or elbow to press your right thigh away and opening a stretch through those hip flexors. You can sink your hips lower if you need more. Look up over your left shoulder. 3, 2, 1 more deep belly breath. Inhale. Good. Unravel arm, take left hand back to the floor, step to high plank pose. You can drop the knees or keep high plank, exhale, lower. Try shifting and pulling the body up. And then rolling over the toes, downward facing. Hopefully with a little bit more heat generated through the body, we feel a little bit more elastic. The muscles more moldable. 3, 2, 1 more breath. On your next inhale, lift your left leg. And then tap left knee to left tricep or armpit. Tummy is tight, lift the knee as high as you can, hips low, and place left foot outside of your left hand. Drop your hips low, lift your gaze, look forward, deep belly breath in. Maybe you can just gently move the hips from side to side here. One more breath. Press through both feet. Extend through the legs if you can. Maybe this left knee is bent, that's okay. Deep breaths. Just taking a moment here. 2. Try lifting your arches if your feet are flat. 1 more. Allow yourself to pivot back into that runner's lunge. Drop right knee and tuck right toes. Lift to low lunge. Lengthen through your tailbone, so tuck your tailbone, press your hip forward. Tummy is tight, maybe placing hands on the left thigh. But keeping this tuck through the tailbone, really important. You're almost pressing your hips forward. Draw your chin to your chest, maybe to deepen that sensation. You can either play around with shifting hips or shifting weight more to the left foot, or sometimes pulling backwards feels better. You want to feel it in your right hip flexor. That's our focus. So make sure that you find that. Play around with it till you find your right hip flexor opening. No excruciating pain, but a nice juicy opening. 3, 2, keep that length through the right side. 1 more. From here, take left hand or left elbow to left thigh or left hand to the floor. Pivot right toes to the long edge of your mat. Side angle. Drop your hips low so you can feel that nice deep opening through the hips. Deep belly breaths. So the higher your hips, maybe the less of a sensation. So think about dropping hips low and driving left leg out. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Take right hand to the floor, tuck your right toes to lift the knee and step back to plank pose. Inhale up forward, ribs and belly pull together, exhale lower. Inhale, hands in line with the chest, roll the shoulders back and down, cobra. And then as we exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Ujjayi breath. 5, 4, 3. Maybe you can pedal the heels. 2, and 1 more. On your next inhale, right leg lifts, right knee is bent. Tap right knee to right tricep. Pull the leg tight to the tummy, right knee to tricep. Place right foot outside of right hand. Sink hips low, look forward, inhale. Press through both feet, lengthen legs. Inhale, drop back to runner's lunge. Drop left knee again, inhale, lift. This time you can repeat that hip flexor opening if you found it most beneficial for you. Or if you can, flex at the left leg your mat. Again, I don't know if you can see my bum sticking back. You want to try and tilt, lengthen that tailbone to really deepen that opening through the quad. It really changes the sensation through the hip flexors and the quads when you lengthen your tailbone. So be conscious of lengthening and pulling it down. You can also focus on pulling ribs and belly button towards one another. Take 3 more breaths. 2. 1 more. If it's in your practice, keep a hold of your left foot with your right hand, only if it feels okay. You can maintain this pose if you prefer. And if it is okay, see if you can take left hand to the floor. And you can keep your hips squared to focus through the front of the quad. Or you can start to sink your weight forward, look over your right shoulder to get deeper into the hip flexor. Maybe you are satisfied here, or if you want, hold on to right ankle with left hand, drop to the forearm. Sink your hips as low as possible. If they're pulled up, we're losing some of that sensation, so drop it low. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. Let go of left foot. Both hands return to the floor. Return to this runner's lunge posture. Take a deep belly breath in and a lovely long exhale out. Left toes tuck, left knee lifts. Step right foot back to high plank. Tummy tight inhale, and as you exhale, lower chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down the body. Deep belly breath in, shoulders relax, middle toes point to the back of your mat. Maybe move the head from side to side. And then exhale, pressing back into downward facing. Pull those hips up, deep belly breaths. Inhale and exhale. 4, 3. Next inhale, lift your left foot. Tap left knee to left tricep, hold it here, draw the knee high. And then place left foot to the outside of left hand. Sink your hips low, deep belly breath, inhale. And as you exhale, push through the feet into this pyramid, wide-legged pyramid pose. Look behind you, push through the feet, lift your arches, deep breath. Inhale, sink hips low, look forward, drop right knee to the floor. And inhale to this low lunge. So tailbone lengthens, tailbone tucks. And this time we're going to see if we can flex through the right knee, taking a hold of right foot with both hands. Tailbone, tuck and lengthen him forward. Pull that heel towards the bum. Press your hips forward, deep breaths. 4. If you're wobbly, stagger your feet. 3. 2. 1 more breath. If you want, you can stay or keep left hand to right foot. Drop right hand to the floor. Keep your hips squared to open through the center of the quad, or sink hips lower, look over left shoulder to open through the hip flexor. You can take a hold of your left foot with your right hand to deepen that opening. Roll left shoulder back, 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember to acknowledge anything you're feeling. If it's discomfort, acknowledge that. If you want to get out, acknowledge that. Stay with it, 1 more breath. Take left hand to the floor. Inhale, runner's lunge, look forward. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, step back to high plank. Ribs and belly pull together, inhale, look forward, exhale, chaturanga. Middle toes point to the back of your mat. Inhale, lift the chest for cobra or upward facing. And then when you're ready, press the hips back into downward facing dog. Pull the hips high, breathe deeply, inhaling and then exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. On your next inhale, lift right foot. Draw right knee to nose this time. So shift weight into fingertips, pull ribs and belly together, tuck nose to knee. And then place right foot outside of the right hand. Tummy nice and tight, hips sink low, look forward for this runner's lunge. Send your left heel high, tuck your tailbone, lift your gaze up, breathe in. And then if you can, we're going to lift to high lunge. So see if you can take hands to prayer pose. Plug through right foot. Left leg long, left heel is reaching to the ceiling. Inhale, press fingers up towards the ceiling through the center. Look up at your fingers if you can. Interlace fingers, flip the palms up like the beginning of our practice and trace circles, one direction. Change direction. Take hands together behind the back. Interlace fingers. Snuggle shoulders back and down the back. Reach your knuckles towards your heel. Open across the collarbones. Allow your chest and your shoulders to open. Reach your knuckles away to your heel. Breathe in. Tilt it forward, so take right ear to right ankle. Reaching fingers up and over. Two more. Pivot left toes to the long edge of your mat. Take right elbow to right thigh or right hand to the inside of right foot for side angle. Option to bind here if it's in your practice, so taking hands together behind the back. Take 3 more breaths. 2. 1 more. If you have the bind, lengthen your leg. If you don't have the bind, you are just fingers to floor still, but your leg has lengthened for Trikonasana. So try and maintain that bind if you can, and take 3 breaths. Roll left shoulder back. 2. 1 more breath. Deep flexion in that right knee, unravel, bind, come to warrior 2 pose. Tailbone lengthens, deep belly breath, inhaling and exhaling. So you're really trying to stack right knee over right ankle, arms lengthened, breathing in and out. Press your hips forward. Gaze is to your right middle finger, that's your future. Back hand is your past. 2. 1 more. Flip your right palm up. Reach left hand to the back of left leg. Peaceful warrior. Focus on this left hip flexor. Press him forward, maybe even hand to the top of the glute to keep awareness here. 3, 2, 1 more. Inhale, lengthen, wiggle the hands either side of your right foot, step back to plank. Inhale, tummy tight, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward. And exhaling for downward. Deep belly breaths. 3 more. 2. On your next inhale, lift left foot. Tummy tight, bring your weight into your hands to draw nose to knee. And then place left foot outside of left hand. Sink hips low for that runner's lunge, look forward, deep breaths. Loads of strength from the floor up, push to your left leg, palms to heart center for prayer pose, and then lift to high lunge. Inhale, reach the hands through center, lengthen the arms. Look up if you can. Keep pushing into both feet. Interlace fingers, flip the palm up. 3 circles, one direction. Changing direction. Unravel fingers, take them to the back of the body. Interlace fingers, roll shoulders and back. Open collarbones to the ceiling. Reach knuckles towards your heel. And then bow forward. Head left ear to left ankle. Reach those fingers up and away. Turn right toes to the long edge of your mat. Side angle pose, so left elbow to left thigh or left hand to the floor. Take that bind if it's in your practice. One more breath. If you can, keep the bind and straighten left leg for bound Trikonasana. If it's not in your practice, left hand is to the floor, right arm is wrapped around or extended. 2 more breaths. Deep flexion in the left knee again. Unravel hands and come to warrior 2 pose. Gazes to that left middle finger. Deep breaths. 4, 3, gazes forward, tailbone tucked. 2 more. Flip left palm to the ceiling, reach right hand to the back of right leg. Peaceful warrior. Remember, right hip flexor, so maybe hand to the top of the bum to press those hips forward. Left knee over left ankle. 3, 2, 1 more. Bring the weight back into the top of the mat. Step to high plank pose. Inhale, tummy tight. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Unison of body and breath. Exhale, downward facing. 5 Ujjayi breaths. If you're uncomfortable in downward dog, bend your knees, lift your tailbone higher. If it's just too much to stay in downward dog, come to tabletop and focus on your breath. In downward dog, we're working on strength and flexibility, but it's also a time to come back to your breath. So if you've lost it, come back to your breath. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. On your next inhale, lift your right toes, squeeze the knees together. And then we're going to tap right knee to left tricep. So draw right knee across the body, tap tricep, deep breaths. And then place moon pose. Nice deep belly breaths here. You can extend through left arm. If it's okay for you, take a hold of left foot for candy cane. Kick the knee high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. As you let go of your left foot, take left foot to the top of your mat and allow yourself to come into a half lift or flat back. Inhale to look forward. Pull the tummy tight and exhale, bow. Take your hands together, interlace them behind your back. Snuggle shoulder blades together. Keep looking behind you, reach your knuckles forward and over. So trying to open the shoulders here. 3. Shake your head yes, shake it no to let go of tension in the neck. And then from here, bend your knee deeply. So imagine you're trying to touch your nose to your right knee. Keep your left leg as long as possible. Keep reaching your knuckles up and over the head. And now bend your left knee. Nose to left knee, extend your right leg as much as possible. Straighten both legs, take one more breath, reaching the hands up and over. And then really slowly lower the hands back and behind you. Allow your fingers to come in line with your toes, flat back, look forward. And then when you're ready, heel toe your feet as wide as your mat. So heels on, toes off. Let's drop to Malasana. So staying in Malasana here if that's enough for you, or if you want to practice crow pose or Bakasana, you are welcome to. Taking hands to the floor, maybe a cushion underneath or to the top of your mat for support in case you feel a bit wobbly. Hands like feet, take knees to the armpits or the triceps or the outsides of the legs. And you can maybe take one foot off at a time, maybe both. Take 5 breaths. 2. Allow feet to come back to the mat. Malasana, lift the chest, deep breath, inhale. Big exhale. Fingertips to the floor. Turn the toes in, lift your hips. Inhale, flat back to lengthen, exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise, lengthen the arms up to the ceiling. Palms together, Samasthiti. Staying weight to the right side, so bend the right knee, shift the weight into your right foot, lift left knee up. Place left heel to right thigh for figure 4 pose. Find your balance, drop your bum low. And we're going to see if we can push into the right toes and drop bum to heel. Ooh, a wall is a good support here. Maybe fingertips to the floor. Sending left knee to the floor, deep breaths. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Allow your bum to come to the floor, so take your time. Set bum to the floor behind your heel. Send left knee away, press nose to toes. So seated figure 4. Send your left leg away, keep your torso as upright as possible, keep right glued to the floor. Really important. 3, 2, 1 more breath. From here we're going to lengthen our right leg.
floor shape, lengthen right leg. Your heel is to your right thigh. You're flexing your left toes, sending left knee towards the floor and folding forward. If you can't reach your toes, maybe take the back of your calf, or you can even hold on to your left foot. So it's long leg figure 4. Soften your head, shake your head yes, shake it no. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Inhale, lift the chest, slide left foot across right leg to come into a glute stretch. So you're pushing flat into your left foot, wrap right eye of the elbow around left leg, twist it up over your left shoulder. Keep the bandas or the tummy nice engaged, connect back to your breath, inhaling and exhaling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. Counter twist, look over your right shoulder, pressing through the sit bones, deep belly breath. One more. Taking right hand to the floor, press into your left foot, lift your hips for a modified side plank, lengthen through left arm. Deep belly breaths in and out. If you can lift your left foot off. If it's too much, keep left foot down. But if you can, see if you can lift left knee nice and high. Lift it as high as you can, maybe even left hand to left knee to draw him higher. 3, 2, and then we're going to take the bum to the floor. So really gently, start to place left foot behind. Allow your bum to come to the floor. Inhale, arms to lengthen, belly to thighs, exhale, fold. Deep Ujjayi breaths here. Make sure your head is relaxed. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Drop back onto your forearms. Make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders and then place your hands where your elbows were. Press flat into your feet or keep legs extended for a reverse plank. Shoulder opening and strengthening. Focus on your shoulders here. Lift your hips as high as you can. Maybe head can tilt back. 4 more breaths. Really lengthen your arms. Lift your hips higher. 3, 2, a little bit higher. Pull your tummy tight. Push your hips back towards your hands. Keep your bum lifted. 3, 2, and then take bum to the floor. Good. Cross at your ankles. Let's take a vinyasa. Roll over the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to lift. And exhaling for downward facing. Good. Pull those hips high. Deep belly breaths. 4, 3, 2, lengthen the sit bones. 1 more. On your next inhale, lift your left foot. Tummy really tight. Take left knee to right tricep, so draw it across the body. Breathe deeply here. And then left foot between the hands. Shift left hand in front of left foot. Half moon pose on this side. So stabilize yourself. We're going to spend a couple of breaths. Find your peak. Maybe taking a hold of
right foot if we can. Send the knee high. 4, 3, 2, lift the knee higher. 1 more. Take right foot to meet left. Inhale, flat back to look forward. Pull the tummy tight, exhale down. Deep breaths here, inhaling and exhaling for 2. And 1. Inhale, root your eyes, lengthen and extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers, take the hands to the back of your head. Lengthen your tailbone, so tuck that tailbone, push your head into your hands, press your elbows back and behind you. Try and get a nice opening across the chest. You can take your feet as wide as your mat, bend your knees if you want to go deeper. Press hips forward, open through the chest. 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. From here, shift your weight into your left foot, so bend in the left knee, take figure of 4 pose. Deep belly breaths, unravel the hands, sink it to figure of 4. Sink your hips nice and low, deep breaths. Chest is lifted. 2. 1 more. So let's see if we can lift into the left toes now. I'm going to cheat and use the wall, which is really mean. Taking this figure of 4 variation. The knees might not allow this. You can stay in your balance if you prefer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And then we'll gently start to take bum to the floor, so take your time. And we've landed in this nice juicy figure of 4 stretch. Make sure your left hip isn't lifted, pull him down. 5, 4, 3, 2, last breath. So from here we're going to shift our bum back, so press through your left foot, shift your bum back, extend your left leg. So this figure of 4 shape, folded forward, your right heel is to left thigh, take a hold of left foot and bow. 4, 3, let go of tension in the neck, chin to chest. Just 1 more breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Slide right leg across, glute stretch. Plug flat into your right foot, eye of left elbow around right leg. Inhale, lift and exhale to twist. Ujjayi 4. So Ujjayi in and out through the nose. Making that whistling or Darth Vader sound as you exhale. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Your counter twist, so draw to center and twist to look over your left shoulder. Twist nice and deep. You can use your left hand for support. If you can, don't use him. 3, 2, going for that modified side plank, take left hand to the floor, push through controlled. Start to take bum to the mat. Good. Inhale to lengthen. We'll take another forward fold. Exhale, fold over. You can have knees bent. Just a bit of a recovery more than anything else. Let your head be relaxed. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Inhale, lift to lengthen the torso. Press into your fingertips outside your hips. Draw knees towards the nose or the forehead. Cross at your ankles. Lift your hips high, roll over the knees. Let's take a vinyasa or come straight to downward dog. Take a juicy deep belly breath in, and then you're going to float to your knees for me. Keep your hips and knees stacked one over the other. Lengthen your arms in front. Take your hands together in prayer pose if you know your shoulders are open, or if not, hands in line with your shoulders. You're going to take a cow pose, so you're going to drop your belly to the floor and lift your tailbone up. So you're trying to lift the tailbone up as much as possible and imagine your belly touching the floor. Your arms are extended in front. Engage through your fingers, so keep muscle engagement here through the arms so we don't lose control. And then melt chin or chest to the floor. If you can and you're close enough and you want to hold on to the top of your mat, go ahead. Try and keep a glimpse of your hands. Don't look down. You're trying to lift the chest. 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. From there then, really slowly and gently, be careful of those shoulders. Come down onto your forearms for a little Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose, we're trying to keep elbows underneath shoulders. Middle toes point to the back of your mat, belly down, lift your gaze up. If you want a little bit extra, press through fingertips, keep your hips to the mat, and take seal pose. You can look over left side and then right. Relax the glutes. Middle toes point to the back. And then really gently lower all the way down onto your belly. Take your head onto your hands. We'll just take a little recovery here. Let your hips move from side to side. Take a nice deep belly breath in and a big exhale out. And then from here, you're going to extend your left arm for me. So we'll take a little bit of a scorpio stretch. For a deeper opening through the shoulders, you can take a 90-degree bend in your elbows. So from your shoulder to elbow and your elbow to your wrist, there's a 90-degree angle. Or if that's too much, it's quite a deep opening, just a straight line from fingertips to shoulder. You're really trying to connect your armpit to the floor. So even take your right hand to your armpit and try and connect that down. And then you can press into your right hand and twist it up to the long edge of the right side of your mat. You can use your hand to press you deeper. Maybe your right leg might be able to reach up and over. 5, 4, 3. Again, acknowledge whatever it is you're feeling, whatever's coming up. 2, and 1. Really gently and slowly roll back to the belly if you roll to one side. Let your hips gently move from side to side for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. So straight line or 90-degree bend, whatever's available. Left hand to right armpit, so that's the important part, that connection. Rolling onto your right side now, if that's in your practice, or maybe taking that left knee towards the ceiling if you have the space. 4, 3, 2, and one more breath. Good. Gently, slowly come back to the belly. Take your time. Hands underneath the forehead. Lift those arms. Give the hips a gentle little shake from side to side. We're going to press back to downward facing dog. So when you're ready in your own time, press yourself back, downward facing. We're going to hop through to seated. If you can, you're going to hop through onto your shin bones for me. So you'll make a little spring, grip to the fingers, and hop to the shins. Let's just take a moment here to settle back into the breath before we move through our back bending. Let your spine be nice and tall. Sat Chit Ananda, our mantra for our practice today, existence, consciousness and bliss. We were conscious through our practice today, trying to exist by listening to whatever we were feeling, whether it was enjoyable or challenging, so that at the end of our practice in Shavasana we can find some bliss. Take one more breath. Great. So from here we're going to come to the back, any way that you fancy. Lifting the sit bones. If you can, for me, you're going to take a hold of your ankles and then roll back onto the back. If you hold onto your ankles and then you're not able to reach them anymore, just let them go and have your hands as far down towards your ankles as possible. It's more of a limb length thing than anything else. So from here, I want you to think about that tailbone again. You're trying to tilt the tailbone forward. You're snuggling shoulder blades underneath. And then you're going to lift into a shoulder bridge for me. So if you're not holding onto ankles, fingers are reaching towards your feet. Press your chest towards your chin. Press your head into your mat. And lift your hips as high as possible. Stay here, or if you can, take your hands in line with your ears. And let's lift into bridge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wherever you are, start to lower the spine back down onto your mat. Whether it was shoulder bridge or full bridge. Feet as wide as your mat, knees falling on top of one another, taking your recovery or your rebound. Sat Chit Ananda. Connecting back to that breath again before we try one more time. So you can go ahead and take that variation of shoulder bridge again. Your quads should feel fiery, so it doesn't matter if you're not taking full wheel. Full wheel is an advanced posture and it just doesn't feel right for everybody. But something that is important to work on is shoulder bridge. Imagine you're squeezing a block together at the top of the movement and the quads are burning. And then think about your chest. Lift your chest up. Push your chest towards your chin as you push the back of your head into your mat. And you can interlace fingers underneath the back and really get that nice shoulder opening as well. Great. If you're going to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, hands come in line with the ears, and that's something to really work on as well. It can be hard to get those hands in the right position, so whatever is happening for you, keep a conscious mind about the hands in line with ears. And you can inhale, lift to the crown of the head and then lift to wheel, or if you can, if possible, hands down, tummy tight, and lift straight into wheel. So if you can, no break in between. 5. If it's in your practice, try lifting one leg. Maybe exchanging legs. 2. And then nice and gently taking it to the floor. Good. Take knees to chest. You can extend arms and legs an even distance away from the midline. Be careful there's nothing in your way. If your back is tired after that, take your bolster underneath the back of the legs. Allow your heels to be hip-width distance apart and your toes falling out to the side. Hands rested on the tummy. Awareness to the prana, the breath. And a real focus of the flow of energy through the body. Maybe it's a sort of relaxation now that our practice is over. A sense of release or a sense of maybe it's a sense of I need to move, I need to go, I'm busy. If that's how you feel, you definitely need your Shavasana. As you slow everything down, from the breath to the mind to the body, again remember our Sanskrit mantra, Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness and bliss. You deserve to relax. You deserve peace. You deserve to consciously exist and feel bliss. Allow your body, spirit, and soul to now align with one another as you enjoy your rest in Shavasana for a few moments. Allow your lips to part. Let your tongue become heavy in the back of the mouth. eyebrows to soften, letting go of any frown that might be there. Draw a deep belly breath into the body. Allowing yourself to bring awareness back into the physical by maybe moving fingers and toes, maybe head from left to right, before gently turning onto your left side to take a moment there. Keeping your eyes closed and gently, in your own time, pressing into the hands to lift you into a comfortable seat, taking as much time as you need. Allowing hands to meet at the heart center in your own time. Repeating in the mind after me or out loud. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Thank you for practicing with me today. To those who've taught before us and continue to teach us. Namaste.